I don't know if I have an intro for this. I think we're just going to roll into it.
I think
so. We're doing our 2025 retrospective.
I know.
Of the Screen Hoppers. We're just going to kind of talk through what last year was like. We watched a bunch of movies and we're going to rank them, right?
Let's do it.
I'm Ian.
I'm Michael.
And this is the Screen Hoppers, and we're looking back at 2025. And normally we hop around theaters, but we're going to
hop around the podcast.
Yeah, we're going to hop around the pod. We're going to hop around our episodes of the pod and maybe name some favorite moments from the pod and some favorite movies that we saw. So I'm excited.
Me too. It was fun going back and realizing just how many movies we watched. We're 20-something episodes in, 2 names of the show, a couple formats, got some bonus episodes where we broke from format completely.
We're having a good time.
And
we'd be doing it wrong if we weren't.
I think, my favorite moments of the pod were the ones where I either revisited something for the first time in a long time and saw something new in a movie, or
you gave me shit for aligning with the mayor from Jaws.
I gave you shit for aligning with the mayor from Jaws.
And over and over again.
I mean, it was just a bad choice that you made. Or, movies that I maybe never would have watched if not for the podcast.
Oh, so which are some of the ones that you would have never watched, do you think? I'm going to tell you right now, R.I.P.D.
Well, R.I.P.D. I never would have watched if not for the pod, but also that's not what I was referring to.
You all should never watch despite the pod.
Don't. Another one you should not watch despite the pod. Our very first episode, 1975's Rollerball.
I don't know if that's a you shouldn't watch. If you're interested in it, you can watch it. Like it's not offensively bad. It's just kind of boring.
Yeah, it has no reason to exist.
No, I've been trying to put some sense. I star rate things on Letterboxd. I've been trying to put sense to my stars lately, and really thinking about what does 2 stars mean? What does 1 star mean? Right?
Yeah.
And I think for me, Rollerball is like a 2.5 star. And my sense that I've tried to put to this is 3 stars for me is this is not a great movie, but it's worth a watch. I didn't waste my time. You wouldn't waste your time watching it. But it's not doing anything especially spectacular, but it's also a good time.
Yeah, I put a lot of thought into this when I was writing movie reviews consistently.
Mm-hmm.
It was what does a star rating mean, right? And it's 3 is the minimum where it would be fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Sure, yeah.
Right?
You should still, you should take your time and see this. It's worth your time.
Yeah. And what's interesting is I feel like the difference between a 3-star movie and a 4-star movie is huge, because I feel like a 4-star movie is a very good movie.
Mm-hmm.
When I was seeing 200 movies a year, I would give out maybe 4 to 6 5 stars, right?
Yeah. So I actually am really intrigued. What's your difference between a 4 and a 5-star movie? How do you make that distinction? Because I've decided I'm going to make the distinction in where basically a 4-star movie is everybody's going to like this. This is a really good movie. And 5-star is I'm probably going to recommend it to fewer people because it's doing something that is unique and masterful that if you're not really into film, you may not appreciate. You and I were just talking about Marty Supreme.
Yep.
Marty Supreme's a 5-star for me.
100%. I agree.
Sinners is a 4-star, and I'm going to recommend Sinners to more people. Sinners is a 4.5. I think
Sinners is 4.5 for me too. And I think you're exactly right. I think that I tend to believe, and this is going to sound more pretentious than it's meant to sound, that
you know what? Just go ahead and power through.
For a movie to be truly great, it has to do something that's going to alienate some people.
I actually agree with that. It has to alienate. It has to do something.
Now there are exceptions, right?
Important.
Jaws our first headliner is a 5-star movie.
It's a 5-star movie, but I think when it came out, it did do some things that could potentially alienate. I mean, it's very violent and grisly and difficult to watch in a lot of ways. And I would say even now, we talked about how that kid gets ground up in the water. And seeing that kind of grisly violence at that time could be alienating. Now, obviously, it made a ton of money.
Yeah, I mean,
but that doesn't mean it wasn't risking alienation.
It's a perfect movie.
I mean, yeah, you and I, there were a couple movies that we talked about that we felt were perfect from this year. And many of them were the headliners. I mean, there are reasons that some of these movies are at the top. I'm surprised by others that are the top grossing movies, but Jaws is not a surprise.
No, Jaws isn't a surprise. Jaws should be.
Yeah, it's earned its right to be at the top.
Earlier today, before we turned any of the equipment on, you had reassessed Back to the Future.
So Back to the Future, we did that episode, and I told you I didn't watch the movie because I felt like I've seen it 10,000 times. I can tell you every single beat. I found out over the holidays that my son had never seen any Back to the Future movie. And I realized it probably was mostly my fault because I just sort of like, oh yeah, I know those movies. I don't own them because I've seen them 10,000 times on TBS. But I was like, okay, let's sit down and watch it. And I realized about 30 minutes into the movie that I cannot remember the last time I sat down and sincerely watched Back to the Future beginning to end. Fuck, man. I just want to like correction to previous episode. That might be a perfect movie.
Yeah, that one's great. That one, I understand why it's on the list, right?
It sets up so many storylines and knocks them down so expertly. And the comic timing, I forgot how funny.
It's very funny.
I forgot how funny the scene is when he's showing the model, Dr. Brown is showing the model of Marty, and the car runs off the end, hits the little like trash can of oily rags and sets fire. And just the quick editing back and forth, Christopher Lloyd's reaction, I had to pause the movie. I was laughing so hard. It slayed me. And I was like, I knew it was going to happen.
I know.
So, Back to the Future, I'm sorry. You deserve a full, very high attention, seated watching. I wish I'd gone and seen it in theaters when it did its 40th this year. I have regrets.
There are a couple movies that we've watched this year. And those are some of my favorite moments of the podcast, or the ones where I watched with my kids, or more often with my daughter because she's older.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the Future is one that she fell in love with. Jaws, right, is the scariest movie she's ever seen at 10 years old.
Yeah.
And
it's pretty scary.
She loves it.
I don't know if I could handle that when I was 10.
She loves it, but will like do the sort of like kind of fake, but kind of honest, where she's like mad at me and calls me an irresponsible parent for watching it with her.
I like when your children are just old enough to identify when you're being irresponsible with your movie choices. That's when you know you've made it.
She's like, what were you thinking?
I was thinking I want you to have as unhealthy a relationship with film as I have.
Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, those I think are some of my favorite moments are where I get to push the envelope a little bit, show her a movie maybe she's a little too young for, but old enough to appreciate, and then seeing what happens.
You didn't show her Once Upon a Time in America, did you?
I didn't show her Once Upon a Time in America.
I would have been pushing the envelope.
We did watch the Indiana Jones movies together.
Okay.
Right.
Including Temple of Doom?
Yeah.
Because that's the one that pushed it far for audiences. You and I talked about the beginning of the PG-13 rating.
And that's the one where she sort of landed on those core three, the way that as we discussed them, made sense, right? Where like I watch it and I'm like, okay, like Raiders is the best one, but she liked Last Crusade the most, and that makes sense.
Last Crusade is the funniest. Mm-hmm. When I was a kid, Last Crusade was absolutely my favorite. Yeah. But you mentioned that there were movies that you wouldn't have seen if it weren't for the pod that you're really grateful for.
Yeah. So,
and it's not Rollerball.
It's not Rollerball. So, we made our top 5, like our favorite movies that we watched for the pod this year.
You did.
And number 5 for me.
How'd you make your list?
So I looked at everything we watched.
Okay.
And just like in a note, put anything that like remotely could have made it, right?
Okay.
So anything that would have been that like, 4-star movie.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And then kind of whittled from there. And then once I had 5, forced myself to rank it. And then once you're at a top 5, that forced ranking's kind of arbitrary.
It is a little bit arbitrary. I think you're always really confident in your 1, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's the 3, 4, 5 where you're sort of, because 1 and 2 are like your 2 faves, right?
Yeah.
And then 3, 4, 5, there's sort of like a fuck it feel that you have where you're like, I'm going to make an effort at this, but I'm not going to be too critical. That's why people don't argue over the AFI's like 90 to 100. Although nobody's arguing about those movies because everyone's like, yeah, fine.
Well, and sometimes you do the one where it's like this needs to make the list because there's something special about it, but I don't know where to put it on the list.
Yeah.
And so my 5 and 4.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'm curious. What's 5 and 4 for you?
Definitely fit this mold of movies I wouldn't have seen without the podcast.
Okay.
And I'm really glad that I did. So my number 5 is Woody Allen's Love and Death.
Okay.
We talked on that episode that I've really only seen the Woody Allen headliners. You know, the big stuff.
So before this, I know you'd seen Annie Hall. What else had you seen?
Manhattan.
Okay. I love Manhattan.
I saw Midnight in Paris because it came out when I was seeing everything and it was nominated for all the awards.
You know, I hadn't seen a Woody Allen in a long time, and I remember I saw Midnight in Paris.
Yeah. And so like I really just hadn't seen that much Woody Allen. This is more niche Woody Allen.
Oh my God. This for me is prime Woody Allen though. This is why I liked him like as a younger cinephile, was movies like this.
And I can see why, right? Because this movie feels super unique, super special. It is absolutely a Woody Allen product. No one else could have made the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's anchored by 2 really wonderful performances, right? You have Woody Allen kind of at his best, most Allen-y, super neurotic and hilarious. And then Diane Keaton is she glows in every scene.
Yeah, and just holding her own in scenes with him, not letting him dominate them.
And it's just, it's a funny, like, it's so like on the nose with its humor sometimes. It's really broad, but it tells a story that's a little highbrow.
Well, it's broad slapstick, but then it's lampooning like Russian literature from the 19th century.
And so this falls into that like category of movies that I tend to really like, where it's like, this shouldn't even exist.
Could you imagine a filmmaker getting $10 or $15 million to make a movie that's lampooning Russian literature now?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's unthinkable. When people talk about like this movie could never be made now, I love when people say shit like that because I'm like, no, it absolutely could. This is a movie that could never be made now. No one is funding this movie. Nobody is.
And so that one made the list for me because it was early in the pod. It was one that I never would have watched without it.
Yeah.
And I was surprised by it in the best way.
That's a solid one to go on the list. Okay. And what's your 4?
And then my number 4, completely opposite reasons, was Green Room.
Okay.
So Green Room is a little gritty, independent movie. Came out in
early A24. Was what?
Yeah, early A24, 2015.
2015, yeah.
Totally could get made today because these kind of movies where
this movie could easily get made today.
You spend like no money, you get one actor with some name recognition just so you have something that you can market. But I loved this movie.
It was a really good movie.
Such a good time with it. It was another one that was not what I expected it to be. Every performance is good, right? You have Patrick Stewart as kind of the headliner because it's the name that you recognize.
Yeah.
But really what jumps out is Anton Yelchin, who was always great in everything he did.
Mm-hmm.
And then Imogen Poots, I think, stole every scene she was in.
Yeah.
And it does a good job of building up a very good villain, a villain that you absolutely hate for all the reasons you should hate a villain, absolutely despicable. And yet there are times where you kind of sympathize or maybe even root for them in those isolated moments.
Well, yeah, we talked about one of the things that made this movie especially unique is that it's a horror movie without a true monster.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the killers in it, the moment that they're away from sort of Patrick Stewart's character's like power and influence, they become relatively sympathetic characters. They don't really want to kill. They don't want to be a part of this. And you don't want to like go back and remap things, but it just feels more relevant even now as a movie, looking at it as, fascists that are being controlled by a very charismatic leader that don't really believe in it as much as maybe it seems like they do.
Yeah, they're
committing acts of
drawn
violence
to the movement, but if you really push any of the squishy spots,
they like being part of something bigger than themselves more than maybe they like what that thing is. No, that was a great movie. I mean, I'll just, without getting too far into it, I'll tell you that was my number 4 for this year. Like,
perfect.
Yeah, that was when you were like, oh, that's my 4. I was like, that is my 4. Green Room was a nice little surprise, and I didn't even like love it when I watched it, but when I was going back and reflecting on the movies, there's that moment where you react to a movie we talked about this so many times, one battle after another. Like it grew on me as I walked away from it, right? This is a movie that grew on me where I was reflecting on the movies we watched from this last year. I was like, man, Green Room's kind of sticky.
Yeah.
Like I had more fun with it and I remember it better than maybe some of the other movies.
Well, and what's funny about it is it's a movie where if I didn't go and look at every movie that we watched, I don't know if I would have even grabbed it. But then once it was on the list and I was doing it, like it did, it stuck. It felt special.
There are so many scenes from it that are very unique, that are well shot. And it also has that really unique voice from the director I kept talking about. He's just so weirdly practical about things where he's not undermining horror movies the way like Scream did and like lampooning them. Instead, he's just saying like, what if this took place in a real world with real people where like real building codes exist?
Yeah, the movie does spend a lot
unique.
of time on building codes.
But it makes the movie unique because you're dealing with genuine problems that the characters have to solve that without movie magic, they can't solve. There's almost no movie magic in a movie that's, I don't know, like it's part of what makes it feel so gritty. So
yeah, and it
movie.
also does that thing that I love in horror movies where you finish it and you're not even sure you just watched a horror movie, but you definitely did.
Yeah. And this one's streaming right now. So if you didn't catch it when we originally did it, I think it's well worth.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I think it's on HBO right now.
Yeah. And it's tight. It's an easy watch.
Oh, yeah. Super tight.
Good movie.
Yeah. All right. So that's your 4 and 5?
Yeah, those are my 4 and 5.
I revealed my 4 already. My 5 is Roadhouse.
Ah, okay.
I assume Roadhouse is somewhere on your list.
Roadhouse is my number 3.
I put 5 because the reality is I would not have watched it were it not for the pod. I love it. I really, really love it. I was really torn between putting Roadhouse or Life Force on here. But when it really came down to it, I had more fun with Roadhouse. And so I was like, it's going to be one or the other. I enjoyed both of them immensely, although I will say I recommend Life Force to more people.
That's so funny. No, so Roadhouse is the opposite for me in that Roadhouse is a movie that, I don't know if I never would have watched it for the pod, but it definitely wasn't a priority. I would recommend Roadhouse to absolutely anyone.
Yeah, I think Roadhouse is the tricky part to anybody is all the gratuitous sex scenes.
Okay, sure. Maybe we just travel in different circles.
Yeah, maybe. But other than that, I think Roadhouse belongs on here because it really is one of those movies that I think is so representative of a time and a place.
Yes, very much an 80s movie.
Yeah. That takes place it was shot in much later 80s. It's just such a stupid fun movie.
It's so fucking fun.
And there are so many movies now that you don't realize until you watch Roadhouse that are paying homage to this. Like filmmakers clearly saw this movie and either cast from it or took little elements of some of the fighting or I don't know. It's funny how much its tendrils have really gotten into film because you wouldn't expect something this lowbrow to be as influential as it is.
It's the lowest of brows.
I think it might be the lowest brow movie that we watched.
Yeah.
And yet, maybe one of the most enjoyable.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a fun watch.
I really loved Roadhouse. It was my number 3. And I didn't struggle at all with putting it number 3 because I did. I just walked away from this loving that movie.
Yeah.
And maybe I give it bonus points for surprising me. I don't know because I didn't expect to love it. But I really did. And Swayze is Swayze.
Yeah.
He's just so perfect in it. And this is another movie that has like weird details that like don't need to be there, but the movie is better for it.
Yeah, it's a weirdly messy movie, and you don't expect it to be a world building movie, and yet, I mean, that world we talked so much about how that world does not exist.
No,
like that's not a place.
Yeah, it makes no sense at all.
But it actually is a bit of a it's a bit of a world builder. Yeah, like I would have hung around for a Roadhouse 2 and seen where this goes as the mall comes to this little Jasper, Missouri. I can't believe I remember the name of the town. Yeah, it's because that episode was pretty memorable too, though. That was a fun episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your number 3. So my number 3, this is the problem with this pod is you and I, we'll split on a movie pretty hard, but generally we align too much. Love and Death at number 3.
Love and Death is here.
Yeah, Love and Death is number 3. And again, I just went back and I was like, how much did I enjoy watching this movie? I was like, I laughed my ass off watching this movie. It was so much fun. It was such a fun episode. It was, I know I had seen it, but it had been such a long time that I couldn't remember very much about it. And so, yeah, I've got Love and Death at 3.
Yeah,
All
I don't begrudge you for that. We
Yeah.
said the lower numbers were almost interchangeable, and here we are.
You find yourself in a place where it's like 3, 4, 5. Like Roadhouse found itself at 5, honestly, because it's not a well-made movie.
I don't care.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that's why I put. I was like, I don't feel good putting it above these other movies that like have craft. Like, I have too much respect for the technical team.
You do. Your MVP half the time is the set designer.
Yeah, exactly. And this movie is just such a hot mess.
That's what I love about it.
All right. So what's your number 2?
My number 2
I think this is where we're going to split up
is
for 2. I think our number 1's the same though.
really. See, I think my number 2 is your number 1.
Oh.
My number 2 is Spirited Away.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So Spirited Away, I will say,
I want to know what your number 1
is our least watched but best episode of this podcast.
Yeah, I generally prefer to pander to our audience, but you're all fucking dopes. Watch Spirited Away, please. Like, I don't even care if you watch our YouTube episode, but if you have not seen Spirited Away, watch Spirited Away. It is a masterpiece.
It is. It is a masterpiece.
On this pod, we've done 2, maybe 3 masterpieces last year. Maybe. And I think I'm being generous with 3. This is an unquestionable. I think this and Jaws, unquestionable masterpieces.
Yes. This is another movie that is very strange, plays with genre. It is ostensibly an animated children's movie, but is so mature in its storytelling and world building and character development. And I've probably seen this movie more times than any of the other ones we've watched. It's my wife's favorite movie, so we revisit it often. And it's perfect. It's a perfect movie.
It really is. We've talked a couple times about how endings are really hard. It has a phenomenal ending.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the longest animated movies you'll ever watch, but it goes by so quickly. It's so beautifully drawn.
25 minutes.
Yeah. But it doesn't feel 125 minutes. It has a structure that feels a little bit foreign, I think, especially for American viewers. But
yeah, it's a little meandering.
It's great. It's beautiful.
But,
the music's amazing. The performances are amazing. The artwork's amazing. If you have a daughter between the ages of like 8 and 13, like this, I would say this is a must watch. You should sit down and watch this movie with her.
My 10-year-old loves it.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal story. I think that it is a great story of a girl finding herself in a very anxiety-riddled world.
Yeah, and I think that might be the best thing about it is the respect it has for its protagonist, who is a little girl.
Absolutely.
Who is going through a full range of emotions, and it takes every single one of those emotions seriously and gives it the weight that it deserves. And just immerses you into not just the world, but her experience.
Yeah. The other thing that this movie does that I think is really worthwhile, and this is going to be me just briefly shitting on James Cameron. He claims that he's making these Avatar movies because he is this environmental protection. He believes that he's going to somehow save the world with these $2 billion IMAX movies.
Well, and like most environmentalists in 2025, 2026, he is single-handedly causing the global warming with all of the gas he's spewing himself.
Nobody's walking out of Avatar and thinking, oh, I'm going to become a vegetarian and recycle more now. Like, that's not the message that people walk away from Avatar with, because whatever he says, whatever virtue signaling that he's doing around these movies, it doesn't matter. Like, that's not the impact it has on viewers. Spirited Away has incredible respect for the environment and does it in a way that I think is subtle and beautiful.
Yeah, it doesn't preach at you for a second.
No, it is not didactic in any way. And it is another thing but you walk away from the film with a newfound respect for your surroundings. And I think that's something that I really, really adore about the movie. So yeah, Spirited Away is great. It is my number 1. Yeah, spoiler alert.
Yep.
Okay, so we have had full overlap. Perfect.
Full overlap.
But I think this last one, I think not overlap.
Okay.
What's your number 1?
So my number 1, I did tell you I cheated.
You did.
We didn't do headliners. But I did pick a movie from one of our bonus episodes.
You picked Superman?
I picked It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, okay.
As my number 1.
Okay. So you... I didn't even go to our Christmas special for that. That's fair.
Yeah,
That's
we
fair.
just did this.
I think if I had considered It's a Wonderful Life, it might have challenged Spirited Away. I don't know, maybe.
So This is
Okay.
the movie that you gifted me
It
for
is.
Christmas.
It is.
And
And it made your number one.
it not
How well
only
do I know you?
made my number one. In the weeks since we've watched this, I think It's a Wonderful Life is not just a great movie. It might be the greatest movie ever made.
Wow. The greatest movie ever made? So this is AFI one for you.
It might be.
Wow.
It's not my favorite movie. I think those can be two different things.
I think they should be two favorite things. I think the greatest movie and your favorite movie, God, this will be a whole other pod, right? But it's like there's that movie that you want to rewatch over and over. Like the movie I've probably seen the most in my life is either Snatch or High Fidelity. Do I think either of those are the greatest movies ever made? Absolutely not. In fact, I recently rewatched Snatch with my son.
Yeah.
Jason Statham is intolerably bad in that film. I did not realize how bad of an actor he was.
Yeah.
He's like, that movie's good. He's terrible.
He's bad. Yeah.
So bad. But doesn't change the fact that I still have seen that movie like 45 times.
Yeah. It's a fun one.
But great movies, I agree. Like,
Yeah.
So
And so It's a Wonderful Life breaks a bunch of rules of storytelling. I think I said in the episode that this is a 2 hour and 15-minute movie with an hour and a half long preamble.
I don't know if I agree with that assessment. I don't know if it is preamble. I think it's seen that way, but I hear you.
But it is structurally strange. And it is definitely, I don't want to use this word because it sounds critical, but it's almost cloying at times. Like it's very sentimental.
Do you find it cloying though? Like that
I
is so
don't, because it
sentimental?
works for me.
Okay.
But I could see where a cynic would be put off.
I mean, that is something that I think has come up time and time again, is that you and I are not cynical about movies.
No.
Yeah.
And I think
like, movies are allowed to be sentimental. If a movie makes you cry, I don't feel like it cheated.
And this movie does multiple times.
God. Yeah.
And
I think you cried during the episode when we were talking about it.
And we talked again. We do this every episode. It's got to be annoying for you. We talked before we turned the microphones on that I tend to be an optimist. I am long on humanity. I believe in the inherent goodness of people.
And yet you like Fincher and Kubrick.
I know. I think because they make me feel something I wouldn't normally feel.
All right. Fair enough.
But I think that George Bailey is the best humanity has to offer. I think that what this movie does is makes a really compelling case that I think we should all in our lives really internalize, which is that it is more important to be a good man than a great man. And, you know, he goes through life thinking that he has failed, that he's deferred all of his dreams, and realizes that the sacrifices he made and the good things that he did, see, it's happened to me again, are what makes life worth living. And yeah, I think it's a perfect movie. It's one that if more of us just tried to find our inner George Bailey as we navigated the world, I think it would be a better place.
Yeah. All right. So that is your number one. I did not include the Christmas movies. And after you saying that, my number two is actually Birdcage.
Okay. Birdcage was one that, as I was whittling, survived a long time.
Yeah. And I put Birdcage there for all the reasons I said that I love this movie. Like I said, this is my favorite Mike Nichols film. The performances in it are just superb. I just, coming up a theater kid, like there's just so much about this movie that I really, really love because it is all of this like great improvisational performance, and it is funny, but it is with great like social satire. It's just, I don't know. It is an infinitely rewatchable movie for me.
Yeah.
And so the one thing that I did make me a little sad as I was putting it in my list, I was like, man, of these 5 movies, I had already seen 3 of them. So one of my big resolutions for this year as we're picking movies is I am going to work very hard to pick movies that I have not seen. Like that is going to be just like, because even like Spirited Away, we love Spirited Away.
We love it.
We love it. I've seen it. I don't want to say I've seen it too many times, but I've seen it a lot. Like that one would not make my cut for my sort of my movie New Year's resolution this year, which is I'm only going to watch movies that either I have never seen or I have not seen in such a long time that I can tell you nothing about them. So like Birdcage wouldn't make the cut. Love and Death would. Love and Death was old enough that I hadn't seen it. So like I told you I rewatched Buster Scruggs last night.
Yeah.
I watched that once when it came to Netflix, and I was like, I couldn't tell you anything about it. So I wanted to rewatch that last night. Also, I've just been doing like a full Coen Brothers revisit of some of their like the lesser Coens, I guess.
Is there a such thing?
I know. That's the thing with directors like the Coens is like the lesser Coens are still great movies.
Yeah.
So I watched Burn After Reading and I watched Buster Scruggs. I really want to rewatch A Serious Man.
I love that movie.
I saw it the one time.
That was a top 10 for me the year it came out. Might have even been a top 5.
Yeah.
Really great movie.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one of my big resolutions for this year. Do you have any movie resolutions this year?
I need to see more movies.
Just more movies?
I think like
Did I inspire you this morning? I told you I've already seen like 9
you've
movies.
seen like, yeah.
My letterbox list is actually getting a little embarrassing.
Yeah, I think my
being the
resolution
7th.
this year is kind of what yours was last year, which is I need to prioritize movies over TV.
Mm.
And I want to try to see more movies that come out this year.
Yeah.
I for a long time saw everything that came out as it came out.
Mhm.
And I think I'll blame my kids. Just logistically, it becomes more difficult to see
Well, that
newer
was one
movies.
of the reasons you and I, before we started the pod, that we started our little movie club, was we were like, we both have kids and we're tired of watching kids' movies.
Yeah.
Ari's been trying to get me to go see Zootopia too. My son's 18
It's good.
now. Oh, I know. And I know it's good. And I just told him, I was like, I just don't want to watch kids' movies anymore.
Mhm.
Like, you're old enough that I don't have to. And it's not that it's probably not good. It's that I'd rather go see It Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, than see Zootopia. It's easy to go see Zootopia. In my heart, I'm like, oh, I know I'll have fun and it will be fun. It'll be a good time. But I don't watch movies because they're easy. That sounds snobby, but like, I'm sort of at the place where we've watched so many movies this year that like I'm getting back to that level of film literacy where I'm like, I want movies that are challenging the way I read a film, that are challenging me when I sit down and asking me to do something different. I'm willing to go on that ride now more than maybe I was.
I feel like there was a long time where that's what I wanted out of movies. And then I defaulted back into the like, you know what, honestly, like this is an escape, entertain me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the podcast and our little movie club are probably responsible for this. I am a lot more not just willing, but enthusiastic about kind of doing the work of watching a movie.
Yeah.
And so, being able to just see more as it comes out, to be a little less discerning in a way about like,
just being open.
Am I going to have a good time with this? I don't know, but let's have that experience.
Absolutely. I would have a year ago. I would not have watched Jay Kelly on my own volition because I would have seen it and been like, oh no, Baumbach, Adam Sandler, like that looks like a bummer. and whereas this time I was like, oh no, like I blocked out time to watch Jay Kelly, like because I was like, okay, this is a movie. I actually, when I went to Tower, they had all this stuff from the screening. They had these really cool like printed
that's cool
Jay Kelly books and posters and stuff. So I grabbed them. It is a very beautifully shot movie. It's always interesting to me though when films like this come out and the things that people sort of take away from them and that they want to market. So there's this cheesecake that seems to follow Jay Kelly around based on something that was like in his writer from when he was younger. And there's like a recipe for the cheesecake in here. And it's like,
are you going to make it?
No, the cheesecake is imbued with a lot of sort of like negative sentiment by my estimation from the movie. I'm always like,
but it's a cheesecake.
I know I always feel like did the marketing department watch the movie when they try to market things like this? So, but anyway, yeah, I'm right there with you trying like, but I do think the other thing about watching as many movies as we watched this year, I do think it's a bit like a drug where like getting your buzz off of a movie now is a little bit harder.
Yeah.
So like I need like a stronger hit of movie now than I needed a year ago.
And I think there's
that's why you and I walked away with Marty Supreme being our favorite of the year because that's the one that hits the hardest.
I love that movie.
But I mean that is a straight into your veins injection of like tension and
Marty
energy.
Supreme though, great example. 5-star movie. I think you said this. 5-star movie. Not for everyone.
Not for everyone. I don't recommend 5 stars to everybody. I recommend 4 and 4.5 to everybody.
And a lot of people I know who have seen Marty Supreme walk away from it saying, great performance, decent movie.
Yeah.
And and I just think they're wrong.
I'm getting to this place, and I'm trying not to get too far into it, where I don't understand how you can walk. Like, I do and I don't. I have to look at it from somebody else's perspective. But I walk away from that movie, I think, the way that some people walk away feeling like when they see Avatar, where they're like, that was incredible. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe they made that. How did they do that?
Yeah, Marty Supreme's one of those movies where you watch it and like, I saw it like late when I saw it in the day.
Mhm.
Couldn't sleep for hours,
No.
right? Because like,
Yeah.
it is like a drug. It's a stimulant.
It is. It is. It never lets up.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely recommend that one. All right, I like that. Yeah, like I said, my resolution is really just see more movies that I haven't seen. Stop, like, rewatch fewer. What was your worst movie of the year from the pod, or from anything? If there was just a bad movie you saw, I have a worst from theaters, and I have a worst from the pod.
The worst from the pod.
I actually have three worst. From the
You
pod.
mentioned it earlier. It's probably R.I.P.D. That movie just doesn't have really anything redeeming about it.
It was so hard.
Like
to watch.
I
was so mad at you.
It's stupid. It's boring. It's ugly. The characters are irritating.
Sometimes it's as interesting, though, what makes a movie not work as what makes a movie work. Like, when you're watching a movie and you realize that it's lost you, I almost try to like identify that moment as like, why did it lose me? What did this movie do to completely lose me? And then can it win me back? And yeah, R.E.P.D., I think the moment that it lost me was probably when he's killed, and the entire sequence where he gets pulled up to heaven. I was like, I don't trust this filmmaker anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what this is or why they're doing it. And it's having no emotional impact for me at all.
Yeah. I hated that movie.
That made my short list of my 3 worst movies. But you know what my worst one of the year was? I think you can guess.
Can I?
I think you can.
Did I like it?
You did.
Was it Twister?
No.
Oh.
No, which one did I really hate?
Why am I blanking?
Oh, Armageddon.
Oh, yeah. Armageddon.
I hate that movie because of everything it stands for. Like, it's a bad movie that also has a bad message. Twister has no message. Like,
yeah, Twister has no message.
Twister's biggest problem is that it seems to make a villain out of competency.
Well,
Like Carrie Elwes' character, they make him a villain, but if you actually watch the movie without listening to what Helen Hunt has to say about him.
Carrie Elwes just takes her good idea and does something useful with it.
Yeah, and he's also just doing his job the way they're doing their job. But he's also better organized. Way
know.
better organized.
Twister,
So, like, he's not bad.
This is not.
And then they kill him. That's the worst part. Is like his comeuppance is dying.
This isn't a ringing endorsement, but I like Twister because, cow go spin. Like,
No, but that Twister wasn't even on my short list of worst movies of the year. Twister's popcorn movie. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't, because I think for it to be a truly bad movie, like I said, I think it has to be irresponsible in addition to like being not well made. I think R.I.P.D.
Armageddon.
Yeah, and that's why R.I.P.D. because R.I.P.D. was on my short list. So my short list was The Haunted Mansion, Armageddon, R.I.P.D.
that's fair.
Yeah, but Armageddon, because its message is so cynical, and I really don't like a cynical movie.
Mm-hmm.
But then in addition to it being cynical, it's not well acted. It's not well written.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. It undermines.
Breaks its own rules.
Yeah, precisely. So those are all the reasons why that
It's funny. We mentioned Twister. The Birdcage and Primal Fear from that episode both made my kind of short list as I was doing
They both
this.
made my short list
Yeah.
too. Actually, you know why Primal Fear got kicked off my list though? It's also a little irresponsible.
Mm.
That's a movie that the further I get away from it, the less I like it.
Okay.
And part of the reason being is there was a genuine fear in the 90s that people who had mental illness were faking it.
Mm.
And I wonder how much that movie had to do with either, I'm probably not planting that idea in people's minds. I think people generally have always felt that
Yeah.
way, but really pushing that forward and like this was all an act. And I was thinking about it and I was like, man, that's actually pretty fucked up that like that's the story is that he's pretending to be mentally ill in order to get away with murder because the way we handle mental wellness now, we've improved as a society, but we're also regressing in some ways and we kind of do this back and forth. And yeah, that movie's handling of that is, and also everything that it represents about the legal system undermines your faith in it.
Yeah. Well, and what's interesting about what you just said, this has very little to do with movies, is I listen to a lot of like true crime podcasts too.
Oh, of course you do.
And a discussion that's come up recently is the like not guilty by reason of insanity thing and how, like you said, there was this period of time, maybe in the 90s, early 2000s, where there was this like cynical societal assumption of like, oh, he's just going to say he's crazy and get away with it.
Yeah.
But funny enough, in California at least, you tend to spend more time incarcerated after a not guilty by reason of insanity plea than you do on like a second-degree murder.
No, and that's actually always been the case because there isn't a sentence associated with it. You just get incarcerated until you're better.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that doesn't get represented in a movie like that, but it just makes you think that people are faking.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, oh, like I just don't feel good about that being the central message of the movie. Having said that, it was nice to see Andre Braugher in that film as the younger. We didn't really talk about him much as an actor, but he passed in the last couple of years. He was Captain Holt on Brooklyn Nine-Nine and fantastic on that TV show. And he plays the private eye that's working for Richard Gere. And I really wish we'd given him a shout out on the episode because he was a great performer and definitely missed. Somebody else we lost this year that we didn't really get to talk about just because of when we took our break was Reiner.
Yeah, and
losing him and his wife
that's actually the
heartbreaking. I wanted to do like
that was being discussed about the like not guilty by reason of insanity.
Because of his son
was the Rob Reiner case. Yeah. Huge loss, really awful, tragic story. That was 2025. We're going to kick off 2026 this way.
I mean, I think you just did it. All right. So that was 2025. As Michael said, we're going to kick off 2026 this way. So good recap, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it, if nothing else, made me appreciate this little exercise that we're doing here.
Is that what we're calling it? Is this an exercise?
Sure.
All right. So yeah, we're going to kick off 2026 and we're going to go to May of 1986. And we're going to go see Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Haven't seen Top Gun in a long time. This is probably another movie like Back to the Future for me, where I can't remember the last time I sat down and watched it beginning to end.
Yeah, I think when Maverick came out, I definitely put it on, but I cannot say that I watched it.
Like you were doing something and it was playing in the background?
Yeah, like it was on the TV and
I feel like it's one of those movies that for whatever reason, just doesn't command your attention. It feels like it doesn't need your attention. And because the plot of it is just kind of loose and fuzzy. Mm-hmm. Like we know Goose dies. We know Iceman's a dick. Although I don't know he's not really much of a dick. I think he's just good at his job. I feel like everybody who was just good at their jobs and responsible were like shown as dicks in movies. But if you really assess their behavior, you're like, they're not friendly, but
I think you're right. I think, a degree of just like pragmatic coldness gets portrayed as being an asshole.
Yeah. So I have a feeling we're going to probably do a reassessment of Iceman. Although I guess Maverick does a little bit of a reassessment of him already. Like I think they went back and rewatched it. Get some Tony Scott goodness. I love what Ridley's doing these days now.
I know Ridley's just, he's got fuck you money and he's saying fuck you with it.
And just making whatever he wants. Yeah.
Which I like. I like that.
I mean, it can be, I will tell you right now, I want to see Megalopolis so bad because Coppola didn't have fuck you money and mortgaged everything he owned to make a fuck you movie. And now we can't watch it.
Yeah. Where the hell is that movie?
I was reading up on this. He doesn't want it on streaming because he thinks it needs to be experienced in theaters. And so he's holding it back.
So I feel like he needs to...
But theaters don't want to show it because no one wants to go see it. So
he needs to take it on tour.
Impasse.
I think that's the only thing he can do with it is take it on tour.
But when? What's the timing for something like that now that it's gotten all this bad press?
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
because I want to see it.
Yeah, but the question is, will he be around for whenever things get like softer and, people have forgotten that?
I don't know because he owns all the rights to it.
Yeah, because I don't know a ton about it except that it's big, expensive, has a crazy cast, and everyone says it's a mess.
Aubrey Plaza apparently gives like performance of a lifetime in it. It's 90% of the reason I want to see it.
Yeah, I like Aubrey Plaza a lot.
I like her a lot too, but this apparently is like her best work, and you can't see the damn movie. I know that it's a big giant mess. I don't hate a big giant mess.
Yeah, I think we've established that we often appreciate a big giant mess.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this is our Tony Scott classic, going to May for that. And then we've got a couple other movies in theaters this weekend. You and I were flipping through, looking at the marquee. What are we going to see first?
I picked Pretty in Pink, John Hughes. I haven't seen it. And I feel like 1986 was kind of his like prime era. And so looking forward to it.
Okay. If I have seen it, I don't remember it. I'm not much of a John Hughes guy. Or I guess maybe that's not true, because I am, but not this era of movies. Like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, all day, every day.
Mhm.
I watch that movie every year for Thanksgiving. Ferris Bueller, can't miss. Love Home Alone.
Yeah, I was gonna
but-
say, like, it was just the holidays, so I watched
Yeah.
Home Alone. Love that movie.
I think I only watched Home Alone 2 this year.
We watched Ferris Bueller on New Year's Eve.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
On New Year's Eve, as a New Year's Eve movie?
No, it just
Okay.
was around and put it on.
All right. Well, anyway, so we'll do Pretty in Pink. And then I'm going to go with another Woody Allen movie, Hannah and Her Sisters. This one's very critically acclaimed, much beloved. I don't think I've seen it.
I know I haven't. So this will be a fun one. We'll kick off. We just talked about our resolutions, right? And so movies that we haven't seen in a long time and don't remember. Maybe one of these will be one of those great surprises that we hold on to for the year.
All right. Well, I'm here for it. I'm looking forward to watching them. Anything else?
I don't think so. I'm excited. I think last year was a lot of experimentation, sort of finding what we were doing here. And it's going to be fun to go into this year just solid, ready to go. And I just hope we see a lot of great movies.
I think we will. And I'm looking forward to this year for new movies too. So maybe we'll do a couple other special episodes as movies come out. I've got my tickets right now for the follow-up to 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, which comes out in like a week and a half.
Yeah, that one, because they shot them back to back, right?
They did.
And so it kind of popped up as coming out, and I was surprised by it. But I really liked 28 Years Later. I thought it was a great revisit in that world.
Yeah.
And I think it did set itself up really well for what should be a fun kind of batshit crazy sequel.
I'm looking forward to it, especially after watching Hedda was one of my favorite movies of 25. And that has me even more excited now for this. So Nia DaCosta coming off of a lot of failure with the Marvels, which the whole Marvel like model now of taking like great young directors and having them make movies, I don't think it works anymore.
It's blown up in a lot of those great directors' faces.
Yeah.
And I think if they were smart, these great directors who make like a little gem will just say no to the paycheck.
I'm hoping so. So I'm excited to see where Nia goes next, though. But Hedda was great. If you have not seen it, it's streaming on Prime.
Yeah.
Fantastic direction. It's not in a lot of awards talk right now. It's like a little bit. You'll see it popping up, but it is great undiscovered gem. And so looking forward to that. And then I've got tickets to go see No Other Choice also in the next week. So looking forward to that. And then I'll probably have to see Avatar because...
I know. We have to see Avatar because Avatar will be part of the awards conversation. But there's just so much else that I feel like I want to prioritize above Avatar.
I know.
And I don't even hate Avatar. I'm fine with Avatar.
I don't as a technical achievement, I think it's fine.
I don't know. I have a hard time getting excited about this one.
Yeah, same. All right. Well, you want to take us out?
All right. Well, thank you for spending the second half of the year with us on the Screen Hoppers. Here's to an excellent 2026 filled with movies. In the meantime, check us out online. We are primarily on Instagram, kind of other places, at the Screen Hoppers. I am at upleft _Michael or Michael _upleft. Michael _upleft. Jesus.
I'm at Ian _upleft.
And go to upleftmedia.com to check out everything that we are doing there. And we'll see you in 1986.
We'll see you in 1986. The Screen Hoppers is an Upleft Media production, written by Ian Tarter and Michael Smith. Produced, sound engineered, and edited by Ian Tarter, with special thanks to Rosie Page.